And joining us now for more, Harvard astrophysicist Dr. Avi Loeb. Great to have you back, Dr. Loeb. At this point, again, photos taken October 2nd. It is October 30th. Do you believe there is a conspiracy at NASA? Are we in the middle of a cover-up?
Well, thanks for having me. I'm not sure. I don't have any evidence, and I corresponded with Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who promised to get in touch with NASA and encourage them to release the data, because the principal investigator is at the University of Arizona. He's not a NASA employee, and moreover, it's time to share the data with the scientific community, even if they don't want to make a press release. That it has nothing to do with communicating it to the media. It has to do with scientific practice, allowing us to plan the observations ahead according to what we already know. And, yesterday was a special day. That was the day when 3IATLAS came closest to the sun. We cannot observe it from Earth because the sun is between us and this object. However, there are several instruments that were able to observe it that are looking at the sun, and some of them are satellites. And as of this morning, we have a report that the object got much brighter than expected, much brighter than any previous comet from the solar system did as it approached the sun, perihelion, so to speak. And moreover, the color of the object is bluer than the sun, and that's very surprising, because usually when there is dust around an object, it should make it red. And we expect the surface temperature of the object to be an order of magnitude lower than the surface temperature of the sun, which is 5,800 degrees above absolute zero. So the object should be much cooler than the sun, therefore redder than the sun. Nevertheless, the data shows that it's bluer than the sun, meaning a very high temperature, perhaps a power supply that exceeds what we expect, or some physics that we don't fully understand. Why would it be bluer than the sun?
So you're saying this object, 3IATLAS, what the rest of the scientific community, the establishment, claims is a comet, reemerged on the other side of the sun, and its color is changed. It did not break up when it traveled behind the sun. The sun's heat did not impact it in that way. Do we know if it's made any sort of turn toward planet Earth, or is it still on its original trajectory?
We don't have data on the trajectory. It looks like it didn't deviate much when the data was taken, but that's before perihelion. That's a few days before, all the way to October 25th or so. What we want to see is what happened after October 29th. And next week, on the first week of June, there is a European Space Agency spacecraft called the JUICE on its way to Jupiter, and it will be able to take data from it. However, it's using its it's using the communication dish as a sun shield. So we won't be able to receive the data for a few weeks. But the European Space Agency was completely transparent when they took data back in early October. It was released to the public a few days later.
Okay, Dr. Loeb, let me just stop you in the interest of time. I just want to, there's a couple of things we have to move through. So Sean Duffy is the NASA administrator. Sean Duffy's been on this program several times. Why can't we just reach out to Sean Duffy and get him to release the photos that were taken from Mars back on October 2nd? Those beautiful 30-megapixel crystal clear photos of whatever this thing is. I just want to go back to that. I know you're a man of science, but Dr. Loeb, I ask you this every time. This is not normal that these photos have not been released, even to people like you in the scientific community. That is not normal.
Yeah, in fact, this is exactly the comment that Joe Rogan made on my appearance in his podcast a couple of days ago. You can check it out. He said you should reach to Sean Duffy, and I'm doing my best with the help of Representative Luna, and hopefully we'll get it out. This is not good scientific behavior, and I really hope that.
And it's unusual. It's totally not common, Dr. Loeb. And I know that, look, the establishment, just like we saw during the COVID pandemic, doctors who said, wait a second, maybe you should think twice about getting these vaccines. Hey, wait a second, maybe COVID came from a lab. That's the way that they have treated you. The scientific establishment has sort of laughed at your conjecture and laughed at your theories, while people like Neil deGrasse Tyson sort of insults anything that you propose as preposterous, which I think is preposterous. I want you to respond to that, but just where are you now? You were 4 out of 10 chance, 40% chance this thing was intelligent life a month ago. Now it's reemerged, it's changed color. What do you think now, based on science?
It seems like it's even more weird than I thought. The blue color is something we need to understand. Haven't had time to figure out the physics behind it. One comment about Neil deGrasse Tyson: he's not a practicing scientist. He's a commentator, an influencer. And think about the analogy with playing soccer. There are people watching the game and they can comment, but they cannot score a goal. He's not the kind of person that would tell you.
You're down on the field
really
still playing. You're publishing work on a weekly, monthly basis. I know that. We read that. I read your Substack. Dr. Loeb, you were 4 out of 10. Has that number moved up? That this thing might be intelligent life and not just a big rock barreling through the solar system?
I think with the blue color, it's now a bit above 4, but I need to think about the physics behind it. It's really surprising, and it's much brighter. It's getting much brighter, much faster than any solar system comet before.
Yeah. Dr. Loeb, we're going to have you back. Appreciate you being with us. As always, great to see you again. I know the audience always enjoys when you come on as well. Avi Loeb, thank you.
Thanks for having me.
He loves the Constitution. He fights for what's right. He hates the bad guys. He's a freedom warrior. He's your freedom warrior. Watch Carl Higbie every weekday on Newsmax.